interviewed Grover Norquist on the border adjusted tax, and I know you're against the border adjusted tax. You explained, as I understand it, that you're against it because it's a tax, and why not just do straight reductions in corporate tax, personal tax, repatriation?
A new tax that's hidden. It's going to hit consumers, especially working people, middle class Americans, working families. Why not just cut the taxes? You put a new tax in, especially one that's hidden, it just goes in one direction, as we've seen in Europe, up with the VAT. And in terms of getting money for further tax cuts, there's things called spending restraints. So have Congress earn their pay, spending restraint, cut the tax rates. The big tax cutters like Reagan and Kennedy never tied tax cuts to spending or anything else. They did it, and good things happened.
Well, you agree on that. He is also in favor of reducing spending, but somehow there seems to be a lot of reluctance in the Congress to do these spending cuts, which I agree with you would be the right way to go.
But even if they don't do the spending cuts, you should still cut the taxes.
I agree.
So why introduce a new tax that when the Democrats get back in, as someday they will, it'll just go in a bad direction. Already this tax they propose will take $120 billion out of the pockets of American consumers, and also tax American consumers to subsidize exports by companies like Boeing and General Electric. Why?
Well, let me tell you what Grover says. He says that he wants this plan with the border adjusted tax because you can pass that in a permanent tax because it doesn't exceed the requirements for deficit reduction.
It's all mumbo jumbo. If you want to pass a tax cut, you can. You change the rules if you need to. There are parliamentary maneuvers you can do to cut the tax rates. Just do it.
That sounds pretty good. You're convincing me.
Yeah, just do it. You don't have to.
We don't, because he said that under Bush they did it like that, and then it expired, and then they lost the tax cuts.
If you don't get this economy growing, the Republicans are going to lose power in 2018. They could lose the House of Representatives. If they get the economy growing, they can make those tax cuts permanent.
I agree with that.
And in terms of the 10-year thing, they can find a way around that by getting a parliamentary maneuver.
Yeah, if you had 10 years of prosperity, the game was won, right?
Yeah. So just do it, and then figure out how to make it permanent. And the idea that avoiding the 10-year rule makes it permanent. No, we saw with the Bush tax increases in the early 90s, Reagan cut them in 86 and 87. 4 years later, they're raising them. So there's nothing permanent. So don't let these crazy rules make you put in a tax that's just going to burden the American people and wreck our economy the way the VAT has damaged Europe's.
Well, you're both good strategists, and I really appreciate your thinking about it and sharing your views with us.
Terrific. Thank you.
Maybe we'll see each other soon, next week in CPAC.
or Freedom Fest. Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks.